أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا. This is a small portion of a segment from Surah Ali Imran. When you read Surah Ali Imran, it's a discussion about the Christians of the time. If you see the logic, if you see the order of Quran is revealed based on the circumstances of the time, but then it was compiled based on the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So there is a wisdom in going through Quran based on its tanzil to understand the seerah. And there is also a bigger wisdom based on the order that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam to put it in that order. That we start with a dua. Any time of the day we need hidayah. The only dua that we ask for in Surah Al-Fatiha is hidayah. All blessings are not blessings if they are not connected to hidayah. Simple as that. My money is a blessing only if I spend it based on the hidayah of Al-Quran and Al-Sunnah. My children are a blessing if they are acting upon this deen and are on hidayah. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us attain that hidayah so that we spend wisely and we train our kids and ourselves based on Quran and As-Sunnah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. This wa'tasimu is an order. Hold on. Hold on to what? Hablillah. And there are many ahadiths that are authentic that point to the fact that this book, Al-Quran, is that rope of Allah. That we all need to seek guidance from Al-Quran. And we need to reject anything that is outside of Al-Quran and As-Sunnah. Because Sunnah is a practical implementation of Al-Quran according to the very authentic hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, where she says, when she was asked what was the way and the life of the Nabi alayhi salatu salam, he said that he was a walking Quran. So we ask Allah that whatever knowledge that we have gained so far in our life, whether we are young and old, that we are able to implement that acquired knowledge at least. And the intention is to continue building upon that. And all of us who are connected and who know what is going on are all sad. But this deen is not about disappointment. This deen, remember that Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam is digging the trench, and Al-Quran says about that thing that it was an event where even the very firm in Iman Sahaba, they were shaken. They thought that this is the end. What greater place of disappointment can be other than that, when they see that there is no hope and they are still working? That is the positivity where Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is digging, and while he is digging along with the Sahaba, that is the quality of leadership, that you're not just giving orders, but you are part of that struggle. And the second thing is that when he strikes a stone, look what he's saying. He's giving glad tidings that such and such place is going to be under our rule. That is the positivity. Anything that we are doing for our brothers and sisters and our children in Palestine will be rewarded. We have to have this yaqeen. By just looking at their yaqeen, we should increase our yaqeen. That whatever struggle that they are going through, of course a much, much bigger struggle, that we are keeping them in or taking a part in that struggle through whatever means that are available to us. And that is why I brought this thing, that staying in a jama'ah is so important. If we are alone, doing things on our own, we will not have any impact. You must be hearing about elections are coming and people are creating these pressure groups. That's how things work. A few days back, all these protests that are happening in different cities, do you think there is no impact of that? The whole landscape is changing in terms of opinion. So we need not to look at the power of the evil, but we need to put our trust in Allah and do whatever we can. Because this deen does not teach us to be inactive and sit on the sidelines and make dua. This deen is action. The word is tahreek. This is haraka. This requires that we speak, we act, and whatever we can do, we do it on a collective scale. Collective scale is so important. You must be hearing different venues. Some people are boycotting some stuff. We lately had a convention. Usually when you have these youngsters, they love coffees. And Starbucks is not just coffee. They also have some whatever cold drinks and other stuff. And they make the most money during those 3 days. Not a single person was there. We're sending a message. It is through collection. If 50% are going, 50% are not going, that's divided. And that is the message of this deen. And you look at it, ibadah, connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a very individual act. If you look at it, you will be the closest to Allah during your tahajjud. And where are you? At home. You are alone. It's dark. That's where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. And He says, is there anyone who needs anything that I can grant? But why are we here? We will not have that khushu now. It's a collection. In fact, the men of this ummah are instructed to go to the masjid for their obligatory prayers, the faraid, the fard salah. If you're looking for khushu, you will say, I have more khushu when I pray at home. But look at the order. Those who are praying at home, according to an authentic hadith, that this Nabi who is Rahmatul lil Alameen is saying that if I find people praying at home, that I will ask someone to lead, I will go and burn those houses down. This is the value of collection. As a community, we have a power. There is another very authentic hadith. It's a long one. But to paraphrase it, that if you have a herd of sheep and they are together, then the wolf will not attack because they are together. If one of them strays, then the wolf looks for the one that is going away and catches that. That's how shaitan catches us. If we are together in good company, reminding each other, inshallah, Allah will protect us from shaitan. But if you are alone and thinking that I'm going to be the most pious person, that is the person that shaitan takes over. You look at any ibadah, it is collective. It is a collective action that will make the difference. And by nature, this is in our fitra that we need company. And that's why the institution of family is there. We need company so that we can have a life together as a family, have kids, and then these families come together, pray Jummah together, pray other Salah together, so we can know each other. That's the whole point. That we know that Mr. A is good in this stuff, Mr. B is good in this stuff, and then whenever someone stands here and says that brothers, we need help from people so they can be part of the committees, don't think about politics. But that's the negativity that comes with it. Oh, these masajid, they always have politics, I will stay away from that. No. That's the excuse that we create in our head, saying that we cannot work together. These are the challenges. It's not easy. But we have to work together. Don't we have people at our own homes who have different opinions? Don't we live as a family? Do we kick out one of our children that this child is not acting to what I want, so therefore this child is kicked out? We have different opinions, we go together. This community, we start with the nucleus, a family, and that has to be based on this principle of collective action. That is the teaching of this deen. I'll read this hadith from Tirmidhi. This is Sahih hadith. It's from Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma. Abdullah is the son of Umar radiallahu anhu. And he says that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Indeed, Allah will not gather my ummah, that is Ummat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, upon deviation. That the majority of this ummah will not deviate. According to another narration, that it can be weak, it can be miserly, but it will not be lying. It will be truthful. So this ummah will not deviate or will not be on deviation, and Allah's hand is over the jama'ah. And whoever deviates, he deviates to the fire. If you're not part of a jama'ah, our destination is a wrong destination. Yadullah. We said Hablullah is Al-Quran. In this hadith there is another simile, which is Allah's hand is upon a jama'ah. That is the importance of jama'ah. That is the importance of coming together with different ideas, with different behaviors, and still sticking together for the sake of Allah. That is the challenge. We all can be very nice people if we are in our own bubble. But the challenge is that I am part, I mix, and I have patience when I'm dealing with people. That is the challenge. And that, if it is fulfilled, will create beautiful society. It will not be easy. And that therefore, if you look at the nature of different Sahaba, some were very lenient, some were very strong in terms of opinion, but they all knew that every quality that they had was to progress the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was not for personal gains. It was never for personal gains. So if someone wants to be a leader, that person should show qualities of leadership. And then people who are following the leader will show sami'na wa ata'na. The very first speech that Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he gave, he said that I have been made Khalifa over you, but if you see me going or in ma'siyah of Allah, do not follow me. So our ata'a, la ata'a fi ma'siyatillah. There is no obedience in disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ata'a is only in al-ma'ruf. So unless it is openly, and therefore there are in books of fiqh, people have said that if there is a ruler that is doing good things and bad things, but that person is still praying, that you are supposed to obey. But if that leader stops praying, then there is no ata'a. Meaning this prayer, which is the number one component, or first pillar of the deen, is so important, or the second pillar. And so I come back to this another hadith which is narrated by Abdul Malik bin Umair from Abdullah bin Mas'ud, narrated that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "May Allah beautify a man who hears a saying of mine, so he understands it, remembers it, and conveys it." So may Allah beautify a man. And this is a hadith, so think of it as being addressed to all of us. So we are the receivers of this hadith. May Allah beautify. May Allah beautify all of us. May Allah beautify a man who hears a saying of mine, so he understands it, remembers it, and conveys it. Perhaps he carries the fiqh to one, when you are conveying it, perhaps he carries it to another person who has more understanding than him. But that other person with more understanding may not have heard this hadith. So he will act better upon it. And there are three with which the heart of a Muslim shall not be deceived. There are three things. In other words, there are three things through which the heart of a Muslim shall not be deceived. Sincerity in deeds for Allah. This is the first thing. Al-Ikhlas. Sincerity in deeds for Allah. Giving nasiha to the A'imma of Muslims. This term A'imma refers to leadership positions. Giving nasiha to them. You're not cutting off. If I give an opinion and that opinion is not taken, it was heard but it was not taken, I should not feel bad. My responsibility was to use my best judgment and then give a nasiha. And if there is nothing that is against the Sharia or against the direct orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then I should be content. That's part of this hadith. That is, giving nasiha is important. And sticking to the jama'ah. So these are the three things. The first is sincerity in deeds for Allah. Anything that we do is purely for Allah. Then giving nasiha to the ai to the people who are in leadership positions. And then sticking to the jama'ah. When we give nasiha as a jama'ah, then we change public and political positions. We have been in this city for some of us for many, many years, some are new. And we all have our opinions and our ideas, whether we should take part in it or not take part in it, regardless. If the community, the majority of it, is forming an opinion which is not against Sharia, and it is for the good of the community, of the ummah, of the Muslims, be part of it. If there is any confusion, going through this hadith clarifies it. This is Al-Masduq, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, who is saying that this ummah will not be upon deviation, the majority of it. And that's the only way that a united, whether you take it as the American Muslims or European Muslims or whatever, unity, a collective action is the key, is the most important thing. So whenever we have an opportunity, be part of that common struggle. Because it is very easy to say that, I don't believe in this politics of going out on the street. That's fine. But then you stay and don't do anything else. Everybody has to do something. I mean, there are non-Muslims who are saying that after watching what is happening, they have lost their appetite. They cannot sleep. And we claim that these are our brothers. And we say, Allahumma ansur ikhwanina fil Palestine. But if we are not doing anything, and we're just hoping the other person will do, nobody will do anything. So when we see our leadership coming up with a directive, or there are programs, at least participate. That is important part. We are coming to Jummah, but we take it as it's a ritual. It is also an order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. According to authentic hadith, if you keep missing Jummah, then, I'm paraphrasing, then it's sort of nifaq seeps in and you start losing iman. Just because we want to be together. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be together. Look at the biggest occasion of Hajj. All nationalities, all colors. But the whole point is, we need to act together. That is my message. And that is my hope, that I'm able to convey the importance of working together. Despite challenges, we don't give in, we work together. And we obey and we follow the directions, as long as those directions are not in clear contrast to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. استغفر الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين، اللهم انصرهم على عدوهم، اللهم تقبل شهداءهم، اللهم ارزقهم رزقا حلالا طيبا، اللهم احفظهم، اللهم يا رب تقبل دعاءنا لإخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى، اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى، اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا استقيموا واعتدلوا. Please make sure your lines are straight by keeping your heels on the line. Keeping the lines straight is part of the sunnah, inshallah. Still. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أهوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سبحان الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم.